What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing today? I hope you're excited because today we got the top 5 trending Young Guns for the month of February 2024. Now, as per usual, this is not financial advice. Please invest in cards at your own risk. And this month was by far the most challenging month to come up with 5 Young Guns that are trending. And I think there's a number of reasons on why that could be the case. Number one reason I think is because of the All-Star break. We had a 2-week period of time where there wasn't a ton of hockey games getting played. So that's 2 weeks out of the month that nothing really was going on in the hockey world. And the other big factor is Connor Bedard's marquee rookie released in OPG, and a lot of people are focused on Bedard, so it's kind of hurting the rest of the hobby because everyone's so focused on Bedard. If you guys are brand new to the channel, if you could do me a big favor, please subscribe to the channel. Completely free, change your mind at any time. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed. Comment down below if I missed anyone on the list that you think is trending. Let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, follow us on our Instagram at our sports cards, and let's start off the list with number 5. All right, our number 5 spot is actually going to be a goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers. It is Stuart Skinner from 2021 Series 2. Now, Stuart Skinner had a rough start to the year, like the entire Oilers team, and on this winning streak they went on, he was absolutely fantastic. And his Young Guns are starting to go up a bit. They've kind of leveled off as of late. Like I said, it was tough to find trending Young Guns for this month, but Stuart Skinner going forward, I think, is a decent buy because if they do go on a cup run, he's probably their starting goaltender, but it's also possible they pick up someone at the deadline. So far this season, Stuart Skinner's recorded a .909 save percentage, which is a lot better than it was at the start of the year. And Edmonton, with their goaltending, I don't know. It's possible they go and pick up another goaltender at the deadline. And if that happens, Stuart Skinner's cards, I don't think are going to be great at all. But if the deadline passes and Skinner's still the guy, I think this is a fair buying opportunity. Now let's take a look at the graph here from Sport Card Investor, not a sponsor or anything. All the prices here in this video will be in USD for PSA 10 Young Guns. As you can see by looking at the graph, Stuart Skinner had a steady climb up pretty much all month, but as of recently, he's kind of come back down to what he was at the start of the month. So he's right around 54 USD for PSA 10 Young Guns, and I think that's a good buy, but I personally would wait till the end of the deadline because I do think there is a strong chance to go and pick up a guy like Jake Allen, maybe a Jacob Markstrom if they decide to go all in on Jacob Markstrom. I think there is a chance there, but he has kind of leveled off. He looked like he was climbing earlier in the month, but he's kind of back down to the 54 USD. As you can see, one sold for 112 USD, and that's double what the recent one sold for. So I don't know, Stuart Skinner. Let me know what you guys think about Stuart Skinner down in the comments below. Is he the goaltender of the Oilers' future? All right, up next on number 4 on this list is someone I am not really excited about at all, especially for their cards. I've mentioned it already in this video. I'll mention it again. This month was tough to find trending Young Guns, but Chris Kreider's Young Guns is trending upwards, and I don't really understand because he's right around like what he normally is. He's normally like around a point per game, maybe a little bit under, and yeah, he's just not really all that great. When I say Kreider is not all that great, I mean from a hobby standpoint, he's a good, solid top 6 forward in real life. But in a hockey card setting, I don't think his cards do really well. When you look for cards in hockey, I specifically look for faces of the franchise. When you think of New York Rangers forwards, I don't think of Chris Kreider. I think of Mika Zibanejad. I think of Artemi Panarin, guys like that. So Chris Kreider's never really been that appealing to me, and I've never been really the biggest fan of him personally. And looking at his points this year, he's got 48 points in 53 games. That's right around what he normally is. So I don't understand why he's trending. I'm guessing it was probably just a spike sale or two, but taking a look at his Sport Card Investor graph, we can see that his graph is going upwards. Now, one sold last month for 153 USD, and one recently sold for 193 USD. So I felt like I had to put him at number 4 over Stuart Skinner because his graph is actually trending upwards, while Skinner's has kind of gone back down to what it was at the start of the month. I'm not crazy on Kreider's cards at all. This is a sell opportunity for me, in my opinion. Obviously, if the Rangers go on a cup run and he's a big part of it, he could gain some value. Of course, that's a possibility. But I just think there's a lot better names you could buy. Like, I'd way rather get like a Artemi Panarin or a Mika Zibanejad card. It's just with Chris Kreider, I guess you have that he's on the New York Rangers in his photo. He's been with the Rangers all that time. So maybe like diehard Rangers fans would like that. But I think a lot of the superstars like Panarin, Fox, Zibanejad will get more attention than Kreider. All right, coming up next at number 3 on our list is a guy that kind of hit a sophomore slump at the beginning of the year, had some injury troubles, but now he's been really hot as of late. It is Matt Boldy of the Minnesota Wild. Now, over this year, I don't think Matt Boldy's cards have much more room to go upwards, but if he keeps playing like this next year, if Minnesota is a playoff team again, his cards could definitely have some value. I think Matt Boldy has a chance to become a superstar in this league, but with Minnesota being so far out of the playoff race, I wouldn't really recommend buying into Boldy for this year, but I wouldn't mind at all if you bought into Boldy for like a future hold. So I'd recommend holding Boldy if you do have him. Looking at his stats here for this season, he's got 40 points in 46 games. You would never know he got off to a slow start because he's been that hot recently. And Boldy, I really think that if he didn't get in that slump slash those injuries he got at the start of the year, I think Minnesota could have been in the playoff race. I mean, technically they still are, but I really don't think they're going to make it. So let's take a look here at his graph. So last month, one of these sold for $71 US and one recently sold for $100 US. So he's definitely trending upwards. And I think if he keeps up this pace, he'll continue to trend upwards. But with once again, I think that ceiling's capped for this year with Minnesota not really being a cup contender. But we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, I really like Boldy for the future, but this year I'm not crazy on him. And coming up next at number 2 is going to be the only player I think we've ever had on a list twice. We had Andrei Svechnikov's Young Guns on the list back in December, I believe. And yeah, his Young Guns is trending upwards again because he's been on an absolute heater as of late. And it's finally looking like he's coming into his own, becoming his own player. Ever since they moved him to that line with Suzuki and Caulfield, he's actually been scoring. He's been getting points, and he's currently on an 8-game point streak, and I'm actually kind of excited to see what Slafkovsky can do going forward. Now, looking at his point totals, you might be thinking, why is he trending upwards? But it's mostly because of the recent game bias and that he plays in Montreal. Similar reasons to why he was on the December list. He plays in Montreal, first overall pick, a lot of attention on Slafkovsky. So when he does play well, his prices go up dramatically. When he plays bad, they go down dramatically. Taking a look at Slafkovsky's graph, we can see it's kind of been a roller coaster over the last month. Started out around 198 USD, went down and up again, and then down and up again. So yeah, it's kind of sitting around 188 USD, which is a pretty significant increase from what it was at the start of December, where it was around 125 USD. So it has gone up quite a bit. Now, what do we do with Andrei Svechnikov? Do we buy, sell, or hold? I'm kind of okay with all three. I think in December I said to either sell or hold, and I kind of see all options being feasible right now with Slafkovsky, because you could either buy him thinking he's going to be a superstar and that this is showing that he's the real deal and that he's going to be a staple of this franchise. You can hold him because I think he'll have value next season if he continues to play well, or you can sell him because I don't know how much more this card's going to grow this year in particular. Because Montreal's a lottery team. So yeah, I'm don't really know what to do, Slafkovsky. What do you guys think? Coming at the number 1 spot is actually going to be a defenseman, and it's another Minnesota Wild. It is going to be Brock Faber of the Minnesota Wild. And Brock Faber has really shown us that he is a legit NHL defenseman and has a chance to be a superstar in the NHL. Now, with Faber, that Minnesota blue line for the future, by the way, with Brodin, Spurgeon, and Faber looks really solid. I think Minnesota's been kind of the disappointing team this year, while Philadelphia's been kind of the surprising team. Like, people didn't expect the Flyers to be in a playoff spot at this point in the year. People didn't expect Minnesota to be as far down as they are. But yeah, with Faber, always defensemen, they're always risky in hockey cards. You can't really trust them unless their name is Cale Makar with values. But Brock Faber is trending upwards. Taking a look at his stats, Brock Faber has scored 33 points in 53 games as a rookie defenseman. Very impressive stuff. Will almost definitely be in the Calder conversation now. I'm not sure if he wins it, but he'll definitely be in the conversation. Now, taking a look at his price graph, we can see that he started at 150 USD at the beginning of the month. Now he's around 200 USD. Now, I personally think this is a good selling opportunity because, like I said, with defensemen, unless you're Cale Makar, unless you're like Quinn Hughes, you typically don't hold a ton of value. Like look for Emery Seider, for example. Now, he's not as like pure offensive defenseman as guys like Makar and Hughes, but he's still a good defenseman. He's not really worth a whole ton. So I think it's a good selling opportunity for Faber, considering the Wild are not really in a playoff spot. And yeah, that's my opinion. But if Faber is going to be a superstar in this league, I think it's also a good holding opportunity. So if you have a lot more faith in Faber than I do, would not blame you at all for holding him till next season. But yeah, I would be on the sell train with Faber. And that is going to do it for this list here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know down in the comments below who I missed. Make sure you subscribe, completely free, change your mind anytime. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.